The third step to taking control of your drinking is learning to manage and eliminate that underlying emotional discomfort that's the fuel for your drinking in the first place. And especially when you implement drink planning in the way that I described in the previous video, you're going to start to set limits on yourself, and you're going to find yourself saying no to drinks more often than you're used to, and you're going to experience more of this discomfort. So you want to have some tools and some techniques to manage it. So the way you need to do that is to understand it, to see it, and get to a point where you really can describe and articulate what's going on with you. And you do this by finding it in your body. Our emotional experience happens in our body. You could feel it as sort of a general cloud or vibration. You could label that as pleasant or unpleasant, open and expansive, or constricted and tense. And very often it will show up as specific sensations in your guts, in your belly area, in your chest, or neck and shoulders. So what you want to be able to do is to tune into these sensations and be able to describe them. Pretend you're trying to describe emotion to an alien to Mr. Spock, who presumably doesn't have emotion. And you want to be able to say, okay, the reason I want to have this drink is because I'm feeling some tension across my chest. And it's a fluctuating sensation. It feels fast in character. It feels kind of like it's a soft sensation and it's just across the surface. It's not deep in my chest. That description is irrelevant, but the fact that you're able to make it, that you can describe to yourself what's happening, that then gives you the possibility to put that in perspective. So then you can think of what is some other discomfort I've experienced in my life. And I love the example of hard exercise. Hard exercise is uncomfortable. Yet, if you're an exerciser, you do it. You volunteer to go out and make yourself uncomfortable. But you know that discomfort doesn't need to be reacted to. It's not a reason to change your behavior. But if you're not an exerciser, you can consider some time in the past when you had intense emotion or maybe physical pain. So what you can do is you can take this sensation that you've described to yourself, that you've recognized in your body, and you can compare it to these other things you've experienced and say, is this really that bad? And most of the time, I think the observation will be, well, no, I can handle this. Ask yourself, can I endure this for 2 minutes? For 5? For 20? So in that comparison, in that perspective, you can then start to say, okay, can I endure this? But how does this relate to the bigger goals that I have in my life? Why am I trying to cut back in the first place? And how is maybe achieving that important enough that I'm willing to sit with this mild discomfort in my chest for the next 20 minutes? You can take this a little bit further by noticing a tendency to resist the discomfort that you're experiencing. Or a lot of times it's also resisting the external situation that maybe is the source of the stress. And thinking, it shouldn't be this way. Things should be different. I shouldn't have to experience that. And if you pay attention, you'll notice that resistance creates its own discomfort that completely compounds on top of the kind of the underlying or basic discomfort. And if you could come to a place of acceptance of the fact that things aren't great and drop the resistance, you'll feel that additional layer of unpleasantness go away. And there you've got less stress to deal with, less discomfort to manage. So this is a huge topic. This is one of the reasons that when I coach people, we do it for 6 months. There's so much potential. I could talk for hours and hours, but I'm going to keep this short. So that's it. I've got a resource that'll help you do this in real time. And if you're interested, send me a DM and I'll send it to you. All right. Thanks and have a great day.